Hey guys, what is going on? Jurgen from ZurGrinoSports here, and today we will be doing something a little bit different on the channel. One day I was thinking about how Ronda and Becky, their match got canceled because of Nia Jax because she's incompetent, and I was thinking, now that they can't do it at Survivor Series, there were rumors that they might be doing it at WrestleMania, and I thought of a decent way to book that. Like, I like it. I'm not sure if everybody else will like it, but, opinions and whatnot. So I thought I'd just make like a fantasy booking video, and then I guess if you guys enjoy this, I can make some more. If you guys don't enjoy it, then, whatever, who cares, right? But, yeah, man, I thought I'd start off with Ronda and Becky, just because, I don't know, the idea came into my head, and I'm like, ooh, I kind of like this, and then, I had an idea for, one specific thing happening, and then I just built it off of that. So, yeah, man, I guess I'll get right into it. Obviously, this is only possible if Becky gets cleared in time. Hopefully she will. Hopefully she's not out too long. But, yeah, okay. So, basically, obviously, TLC's coming up in a few weeks, depending on when you watch this. So, if she's cleared, she'll have to defend her title, right? So what I thought of doing was having her defend it against Naomi, because Naomi's, she's a good wrestler. I'm not the biggest fan of her character, but, in the ring, she's better than a lot of the people on the roster, so she can have a good match, and especially with Becky, she'll be able to have a good match. And obviously, Becky will retain at TLC. Don't want the title off her at all. You know what I'm saying? Over on Raw, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care what Ronda does at TLC. I guess she's got Nia coming up, so she can beat Nia. Whatever, who cares? That part I don't give a shit about. I don't have to book Ronda until a certain point because she's just gonna win whatever the fuck she wants to win. So yeah. Anyways. Becky defends the title against Naomi at TLC, retains the title, of course. And then, at the Royal Rumble, because that's the one after TLC, I'm pretty sure that's the schedule, Becky will defend the title against Asuka to open the show. It'll be the first match on the show, and that's important because of, yeah. And then, obviously, she'll win. Don't want the title off Becky yet. Or at all, to be honest. But yeah, so she defends against Asuka, opening the show. It would be a great match. And then, obviously Ronda would have to retain her title against whoever the fuck they want her to defend against. I don't know, they'll probably do Tamina because they're that stupid. I'd do somebody else. I didn't really think of it. I didn't really care about that side up until the Rumble. You know what I'm saying? And then, I think the Women's Royal Rumble should main event the show, right? And I think there's two ways that I was deciding on going about this because it can serve two purposes. So either, it involves Nia. So either Nia is number 1 in the Rumble or number 30 in the Rumble, right? And what we do is we cut backstage as the Rumble is about to start or as Nia is about to enter, depending on where, in the Rumble she is. And we see her in the locker room, just destruction in the locker room, and Becky has her in the disarmer like she had Ronda in the build-up to Survivor Series, you know what I'm saying? And then she takes her spot in the Rumble, right? And she's a champion and all that, but the motivation is, I have unfinished business with Ronda, I want to fight Ronda, you know what I mean? And she would explain that afterwards on SmackDown or whatever, you know what I mean? And, yeah, so basically, Becky takes Nia's spot in the Rumble. And there's two ways. The number 1 and the number 30 are the number 1 puts her over big because she already defended the title and she's going to beat 29 people. She's going to win the Rumble. Number 30 is more of a, hey, I got back at Nia because she was pretty much favorite to win because she's fucking tall as shit, big as shit. In a match with 30 people, she's going to come in fresh, everybody's tired, you know what I mean? So you either really get back at Nia for putting you on the shelf like that, or you get back at Nia still from taking her spot, and then put Becky over big by having her enter number 1 and win the whole thing, right? So basically, Becky will win the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? And then on Raw, the next night, they'll have a battle royal. They'll be like, you know what, ladies, you didn't, none of you won the Royal Rumble last night, but we will, I'm feeling generous tonight, whoever's the general manager, I guess. I'm feeling generous tonight, and we can have a battle royal, and the winner will face Ronda at, what's it called? Fastlane, I think, right? The one that used to be No Way Out. I'll just say that. I think it's Fastlane. You know what I mean? So basically, Nia will win that, right? I hate Nia, by the way, if you've watched my channel before. I absolutely hate Nia, but I think she can serve a purpose in this story that I fantasy booked. So I'm going to push her strong. I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to give her a big push. She's going to seem, indestructible going into the Rumble, and then she's going to seem, like a big, big threat for now. So anyways, she wins the Battle Royal on Raw. That'll probably main event Raw. To earn a shot at Ronda at the Royal Rumble, Fastlane. And yeah, they probably already did that at TLC, but whatever, man. I wouldn't do it at TLC if it was me. If it was me, I would do somebody else. But like I said, I didn't take the Raw side into consideration too much when I was booking this. So, because Ronda's side doesn't really matter up until the Royal Rumble happens. Yeah, so we have that, right? And then on SmackDown, Becky cuts the promo. She's like, you're probably wondering why I would enter the Rumble if I'm already champion. Well, if you remember a while back, Nia Jax cost me the opportunity at ripping Ronda's arm off, and I'm here to collect that opportunity now, blah, 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 blah. I didn't really actually write dialogue. I'm just off the top of my head. I'm terrible at writing dialogue. So we would do that, and Charlotte would come out, right? And Charlotte would come out, and she'd be like, blah, 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 Becky, when you were out, I took your place, and I demolished Ronda. I have unfinished business with her too. You're not the only one who wants Ronda, something like that. And then it would lead to Charlotte asking for a match at Fastlane where Becky puts not only her title on the line, but her shot at Ronda on the line as well. We could do something where Charlotte is already number one contender, so she has the title shot already, but she asks for the opportunity on top of the title shot. And Becky would accept on one condition, that when Becky beats Charlotte, Charlotte leaves SmackDown. She could be like, you know what, Charlotte, ever since you've been to SmackDown, you've been a thorn in my side. You held me back. You took opportunities that I earned just because of your name, blah, 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 blah. And then I threw you a bone with Ronda, and now you're trying to steal this too, something like that. And she'll be like, I'll accept your match if when I beat you, you leave SmackDown, blah, 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 blah. Go to Fastlane. Obviously, Becky beats Charlotte. It would be a hell of a match, just like their match at Evolution was. That would go on before the Nia and Ronda match. Neither of them should main event, obviously. I think other matches should main event, but the Becky-Charlotte one would be earlier than the Nia-Ronda one, and I'll tell you why. Basically, Nia's about to win, right? Or at least look like she's about to win. Becky would come out and screw Nia and help Ronda win. And then on SmackDown, she'd be like, Nia isn't worth my time. Nia isn't worth my effort. She's nothing to me. I only want Ronda. And that's why I did what I did. Something like that. You know what I mean? Once again, I'm terrible at writing dialogue. So yeah, bear with me on the dialogue, but just the general gist of things is what I'm aiming at. You know what I mean? And then you'd have just like the back and forth promos every week, and the one week they could just fucking demolish somebody on their roster, blah 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 blah, keep everybody strong. And what I would love to happen, right? And it won't. Even I understand this is fantasy booking, so that's why I included it. But this wouldn't happen in a million years. What I'd love is if Becky's ending part of her promo on the Go Home show, because SmackDown comes after Raw, so she has the last word up until, right before Mania. I would love it if her last part of her promo was something like, after I beat you at WrestleMania, you'll be back on Ellen talking about how you almost killed yourself again. Something like that. Because after Ronda lost in the UFC for her first time or whatever, and then she lost again, she went on Ellen and she was like, oh, I contemplated suicide because she lost a fucking fight in a sport. You lose fights in sports. Like, fucking get over it. That's besides the point, though. So I'd love it if she could say that, because they let her tell Edge not to hurt his neck on the way out of her ring. You know what I mean? And that's kind of crossing a line a little bit. So they wouldn't let this happen, but it's my fantasy booking, so she's going to say it in my fantasy booking. So I'd love for that to be the line on the go home. And then and then Becky, this would main event WrestleMania. Obviously. They want Ronda to main event Mania. It was going to be Charlotte. It probably still will be Charlotte after the beatdown at Survivor Series, unfortunately, but this is my fantasy booking once again, so fuck Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? And then Becky would win clean as a whistle. I'm not saying she would bury Ronda. It'd be really competitive. Near falls everywhere. Ronda would have her beat. Becky would have her beat. Becky taps out Ronda. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be the tap out. She can't pin her. It has to be the tap out. Because I would use that to turn Ronda heel after Mania. You know what I mean? Just send her crazy because she lost, and she just doesn't care about anybody, and she just destroys everybody. You know what I mean? You could have Natalya come in and be like, hey, it's just a loss. Like, it was unfortunate that it was at WrestleMania, but you'll get your title back, blah, blah, blah. And she just destroy Natalya. Something like that. You know what I mean? Just turn Ronda heel after it, because I think Ronda could be a good heel. You know what I mean? I don't like smiley, oh, look, I'm so happy to be here, Ronda, because, when Ronda does it, everybody's like, oh, wow, it's Ronda, great. But when Apollo Crews does it, it's like, no, he's useless. What? They both do the same thing. They're both just happy to be there. You know what I mean? Ronda's putting on great matches, but character-wise, she's just, hey, I'm happy to be here. Oh, also, I fought in the UFC. Haha. But anyways, use that to turn Ronda heel after. And then on Monday, Monday after Raw, Becky would come out, both titles looking like a boss, you know what I'm saying, come out to address the Raw audience, because, we would be like, and you'd promote it as Becky Lynch addresses the women's championship situation, something like that. So make people think she's going to unify them, make people think she's going to vacate one or the other, something like that. You know what I mean? Probably lean towards her. I would say lean towards her vacating it. Promote it that as if she's going to unify it. You know what I mean? And then I have to flip my page here. Excuse the sound. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't fit it on one page. A little bit spilled over to the next page. Whoa. My bullet notes, that is. I can't write scripts of stuff either, as you know, with my dialogue. She'll put herself over, I'm the best on my show and the best on this show. I'm the main event of this. I'm the main event of that. I main evented WrestleMania. I am the main event in WWE. Blah, 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 blah. Stuff like that. No one can beat me. Just putting yourself over. And then, again, something that would never happen, but it's fantasy booking, so fuck it. I would have her claim, she would start with, okay, after putting herself over, she'd be like, and now I'm left with this decision of what to do with these titles. Do I put them together? Do I throw them away? What do I do? Something like that. And then, what she would do is look at the Raw title and say, this title isn't worthy of the man. And throw it on the ground. This show isn't worthy of the man. I'm going back to the A show. And then she goes to SmackDown. And she stays on SmackDown. She doesn't get switched over in the Superstar Shakeup, which I'm assuming they'll do again. Because that puts her over and that puts SmackDown over. And SmackDown fucking needs it after they buried SmackDown beyond belief at Survivor Series. So yeah. And then that would be the end of that. You know what I mean? Also, this leaves things open for a horsewoman versus horsewoman thing, because Charlotte still has unfinished business with Ronda. Ronda wants to get back at Becky for beating her, So it leaves an opening for a horsewoman versus horsewoman match down the line. So yeah, I think it's good. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think down below. If you would change things, if you think it's good as it is, stuff like that, add things, whatever. Yeah, I think Becky is the best thing in the company, and I think Ronda has really good name power, and she would get a lot of tickets sold, obviously, like she has been doing. And I think having Becky win would make Becky like over to the point that she'll never not be over, because she's already almost there. Like she is stone cold Becky Lynch at this point, especially with her bleeding on Raw. You know what I mean? And looking like a badass and owning it and not being like, oh, I got hurt, whoops. Fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that was kind of similar to Austin's passing out in the sharpshooter, because he has blood dripping down his face, and just that visual is kind of similar. I don't think Becky's blood is on that level yet, but I think if she, beats Ronda at Mania clean, maybe have her blade there. I know they don't blade anymore, but maybe make one occasion where she does blade, and they pretty much go for the double turn at Mania, where Ronda's Brett and Stone Cold is Becky. You know what I mean? But Becky doesn't tap out this time. Stone Cold doesn't tap out this time. You know what I mean? They fight back and they persevere and they win. You know what I mean? I think that would solidify Becky as just a star. She already is, but I feel like to even casual fans, that would solidify her as a star. You know what I mean? I think it would have her made for life. You know what I mean? Because Stone Cold, whenever he comes out, people are fucking on. You know what I mean? People fucking go crazy. So I think she would have the same reaction with a feud like this if they booked it like I booked it, or similar. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's I'm happy with my idea. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, share it to all your friends, all that good stuff. If you're a fan of wrestling gameplay stuff, that's the majority of this channel. I have a bunch of playlists on the playlist section of my screen. I'm doing a bunch of series right now. I'm doing 2K19 My Career. I'm doing SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 The Road to WrestleManias. I'm doing SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 GM mode. I'm doing a WWE All-Stars thing. Got a lot of shit on my plate at the moment, so there's a lot of stuff coming out. So if you're a fan of wrestling games and commentary and stuff, check that out. If not, that's okay, dude. Once again, let me know if you guys want to see more of this in the comments below. And if so, let me know what you'd want to book, what you would want me to book, I guess. Because I think there's a lot of potential in WWE right now. They're just not capitalizing on it. Like Drew McIntyre, I think they could have handled him a lot better at Survivor Series. Like for me, he should have gone 5-1 down and came back and destroyed everybody, or 4-1 down, something like that. You know what I mean? I think they could have used Survivor Series to put Drew over more, but, Braun. But yeah, once again, like, subscribe, all that good shit. Be sure to turn on notifications, because YouTube likes to not show my videos in the sub boxes. And I'll see you guys next time.